Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to part 3 of the staples in Synchros. So next up, we're going to be talking about Scrap Dragon. Now, Scrap Dragon definitely did change the game a lot. I mean, there's a whole scrap deck that revolves pretty much around Scrap Dragon and kind of recycling him at every turn. Obviously, if you're playing scraps, you'll want to main, 3 of these, because he is quite good, and the effect of, getting back another scrap after he's destroyed, which is usually Scrap Golem, pretty darn good, and you can just kind of recycle your Scrap Dragons over and over and over. But when, Fiendish Chain came out, this really helped out Scrap Dragon in general. Plus, Scrap Dragon's effect to destroy one of yours is not a cost, and that really does help out Scraps, because if it was a cost, and, you went minus, it would kind of hurt a lot. Especially if it was a card like, Pot of Avarice, which tends to be set a lot if, you've already, pretty much pushed for game and your opponent just sets 1, you can just set your card and pop. Pretty good with MST, because, if you have your MST already set, and then you activate Scrap Dragon's effect, you can pop MST, and you can chain MST, and you can basically pop 2 for 1. So you essentially go +1. Scrap Dragon, very good. It kind of puts your opponent in a situation where they don't want to set cards, because you can basically pop, and then you can also run over, because he has relatively good attack. And Scrap Dragon's just really good, obviously, with, tokens like Scapegoat or Dandy tokens. Scrap Dragon, definitely very good, because if there's nothing that you can really do to get over something, Scrap Dragon can just go, it's basically a 1-for-1. I mean, obviously, you might have to use multiple cards to synchro for Scrap Dragon, but if there's a problem card, Scrap Dragon can kind of deal with it pretty fast. Similar to the fashion where YuGiOh, in the Quick Draw format, where YuGiOh was kind of the answer to everything. Even Herald cited it sometimes, because they just really wanted an answer to destroy one card on the field, whether it was a monster that was stopping something, or a spell or trap. So Scrap Dragon definitely deserves a spot in here, just because he really is, in my opinion, a staple. As you guys seen, most of the top players are playing Scrap Dragon, even if you're not playing a Scrap deck. The whole idea of just setting one card to destroy it, and then destroy one, it's just kind of like, just remove one card off the field per turn, and if you're at a card advantage, Scrap Dragon, obviously very good. Plus it gets over Grapha, as long as the field spell isn't there, if you're playing against Dark Worlds. But, I think I'd rather go for Colossal Fighter against Dark Worlds. That's just my personal way of playing, because obviously Stardust is too weak to get over Grapha, and you need something basically that gets over Grapha and able to stay on the field. Obviously, if they use Grapha's effect, they have another Grapha, then you're in a bad situation already. So there's not really any synchros that can really help you out with that. You could opt to go for Ancient Fairy Dragon, but I personally just like Scrap Dragon, because Ancient Fairy Dragon kind of just stalls you, essentially. So if you're sitting there stalling, and then you destroy like a field spell, you're just waiting for them to draw into another Grapha and then discard it, and then, wreck your Ancient Fairy Dragon. But Ancient Fairy Dragon does kind of sit on the field for a long time. Plus, the hype of Gravekeeper is dying down, so that's kind of why it's not seeing as much play, but it still is a very good card. But Scrap Dragon, very good. Obviously, if they have too high of a monster, just pop, and it just works very well. Also, if your opponent has Scrap Dragon, you have Mind Control, and you pop their Scrap Dragon to destroy something else, very good. But Scrap Dragon, just overall, really, really solid card. Really puts you at an advantage, either early or late game, because pretty much in late game, if they're just setting one monster per turn, you could just pop them. Very good card. But thanks for watching, guys. New episode coming up very shortly. Thanks for watching, guys. Asian Eyes White Dragon, signing out.